You came into my life not like a storm, but like a sunrise, slow, deliberate, quiet, in your grace, yet undeniably powerful. There was no crashing thunder or wild winds, only the gentle unraveling of darkness, the hush of a night surrendering to light. Your voice, soft like morning dew, resting on petals, carried words that bloomed in the garden of my soul. You touched the corners of my spirit that had forgotten how to feel, how to hope. I didn't fall in love. I rose into it, lifted by the gravity of your gaze, the stillness in your presence, the way time sat calmly between our silences. It wasn't the kind of love that made my heart race. It was the kind that made it breathe. You didn't complete me, for I wasn't incomplete. Instead, you mirrored all the parts of me I had buried, forgotten, abandoned. And in your reflection, I found my essence again. You, my always, arrived without fireworks, yet lit every sky I'd ever dreamed of. And from the first day I somehow already knew, you weren't passing through, you were home. There were nights when I wandered in dreams that led nowhere, seeking pieces of myself in people who could never understand my language. And then you spoke, and suddenly every broken sentence inside me turned into poetry. You saw me, not the painted version, not the rehearsed smiles, but the raw, unfiltered truth of who I was when no one else watched. And you didn't look away. You didn't flinch at my fears, or shy from my shadows. You walked into them, as if they were fields of light. I didn't ask you to fix me, I only wanted you to stay. But you did more than that. You loved me in the language of consistency, in gestures, quiet and steady, the way your hand reached for mine, without needing a reason, the way your eyes listened, when your mouth didn't speak. With you I found a silence that healed louder than 1,000 words, a love that didn't ask for perfection, but danced in the imperfections. With every breath you shared with me, I became more myself. With every heartbeat, I began to believe again. The world often tells stories of love, with grand declarations and cinematic splendor, but ours wrote itself in subtleties, your laugh echoing through my ribs, like music I never knew I needed, the way you said my name like it belonged somewhere sacred. I remember the first time you touched my face, not out of habit but reverence, as if you were memorizing the contours of your favorite poem, and in that touch I felt centuries of longing fall away. You made me feel timeless. You became the constant I never saw coming. Even when everything else felt uncertain, when days were heavy and dreams too far, you remained. Like the moon that never forgets the night, you kept returning, loving me not in spite of the chaos in me, but because you saw something beautiful in it. You didn't just love the good in me. You loved the process, the becoming, the unraveling, the healing. And I in turn learned to love you in every ordinary moment, because with you, even silence felt holy. There's a kind of love that burns bright but fades fast. And then there's the love we found slow burning, steady, unwavering. You didn't rush me. You didn't demand. You simply waited. And in that patience, I learned what trust truly meant. You gave without asking, loved without needing proof, and stayed when you could have walked away. You loved me not for what I gave, but simply because I was. That kind of love rewrites a person. It peels back the armor, silences the self-doubt, and teaches the soul to breathe again. With you I discovered softness I had long forgotten, laughter I had buried beneath years of quiet pain. You gave me back pieces of my spirit that life had taken, and you never asked for anything in return. I don't know if the stars had anything to do with our meeting, or if fate simply decided we were meant. But what I do know is that from the moment you entered my life, everything began to make sense. You became my anchor, my rhythm, my all. I find you in everything now, in the quiet moments between heartbeats, in the light that slips through the window at dawn, in the soft hush of rain against the earth. You are the echo in my favorite songs, the reason I smile at strangers, the calm beneath my love. With you is not just an emotion, it's a way of being. It's waking up knowing that someone sees you completely, and still chooses you, over and over again. You, with your quiet strength and wild heart, you've taught me that love isn't loud, it's steady. It's in showing up even when it's hard. It's in the way you laugh at my worst jokes, the way you hold me when I break, and the way your eyes hold stories you've never needed to speak. You, my always, are the dream I never dared to wish for, the answered prayer I didn't know I'd whisper. With you, life isn't perfect, but it is beautifully real, and that is more than I ever hoped for. I want a lifetime of firsts with you. First coffee in a quiet kitchen, before the world stirs awake. First snowfall with our hands buried in each other's warmth. First fight that we mend with whispers instead of screams. I want your mornings, and your midnights, your triumphs, and your fear. I want to hold your hand through decades, to be the one who stands beside you when your hair turns silver and your steps grow slow. I want to be your home, just as you are mine. There is no corner of this world I'd rather be than beside you. And if ever we wander into the hard seasons, as love sometimes must, I promise to stay, to choose you every time, to hold on to what we've built, and to fight for the quiet joy we've found. Because love is not just in the feeling, it's in the choosing. And I choose you, not just for now, not just for someday, but for always. For every version of you through every chapter life writes. You, my always, my ever, my forever. Some days when words fall short, I find myself tracing memories and the way your fingertips brushed against my back the first night we danced under stars, unsure and tender, like we were rewriting the language of touch. Or the way you looked at me after a long day, your eyes saying everything your tired lips couldn't. Those moments, small, fleeting, unremarkable to the world, are the ones I carry like treasures. We may not always have fireworks or perfect sunsets, but we have something far more rare. Presence. Real, breathing presence. You've made this life, this simple imperfect life, feel like a miracle. And I've come to believe that love doesn't need to be loud or grand. Sometimes love is just two people choosing each other, in the quiet, in the mess, in the ordinary. And in that quiet, you've become everything to me, a compass when I'm lost, a fire when I'm cold. You, who holds my soul without trying, without fear, with absolute certainty. You, who is my always. Time is a strange thing. It moves too fast when I'm in your arms, and too slow when you're far away. But through it all, love stretches with us, grows roots where we pause, grows wings where we dream. I used to fear the passing of time, the fleetingness of happiness, but with you, I've learned that some things are timeless. You've become a part of every season, every chapter, every beat of this journey. Even in silence, I hear you. Even in distance, I feel you. You are etched into my story, not as a visitor, but as the one who stayed. You didn't just walk into my life. You became the rhythm of my days are measured not by hours, but by your laughter, your touch, your nearness. And if the world ever forgets to be kind, if time ever tries to steal our moments, I will hold on to the memory of your voice, your smile, for in this life, and every life after, you will always be my always. I sometimes wonder what I did to deserve a love like this, and then I remember it's not about deserving, it's about finding. And I found you, in a world full of echoes. You were the voice that finally sounded like home. You were not the loudest love, not the most obvious, but you were the truest. You saw me before the world did. Before I did, you believed in me, on the days I had no belief left for myself. And when I doubted, you held the faith for both of us. That kind of love doesn't come from it comes from souls that were always meant to meet. I don't know how long forever is, but I do know this. I will spend every breath I'm given, loving you deeper, truer, better, not because I have to, but because it's the only thing that feels real. You, with your boundless heart and unwavering eyes, you are the reason I believe in love's return. You, my always, are the miracle I never asked for, but will never stop thanking the stars for.